will be very important for Noam, so that we go feel move forward. And it be very important. Me all Ambazonia know say una opinion then count for this struggle. The international community, the gauge una opinion them. Even Ground Zero, the gauge una opinion them. So I go bring una very important information today and very important analysis the one I need for Noam for way to go on. For first thing what I want to talk, and I say, would that already beat La République du Cameroon? Would that win the war? It already be established for the international community and for the diplomatic communication the way our leader dedicate and say Ambazonia that already defeat La République du Cameroon. They don't come from occupying, annexing our territory. It don't become now a military occupation. They not be able to maintain any political leadership over Ambazonia so far. They don't install their colonial DO and their SDO for 3 years now. For these past 3 years, they don't do the installation for over 6 times. That means they don't make appointment upon appointment. Those people they not be able to mount those positions. And it be very important for governed territory by the civilians. It be very important. Those are benchmark in the international community. So that beat La République du Cameroon on the territory. The occupation now a military occupation. Wait till this one the mean for our independence struggle. When I know say the whole strategy for win this war. Not be say we go win La République du Cameroon completely militarily. So we go win the so they don't know get one soldier for Ground Zero. No, they go always continue for get some military base them. But the problem was strategy now for beat them, for make the territory maybe ungovernable for them. Me they no fit govern them, me they no fit control the territory, and then take our next for the next level for make sure say me they no fit exploit our resources them. So would that move the struggle from just mobilizing our people for kicking La République du Cameroon, the administrator, out of our territory, and for make and me be sure say the international community no fit do business with La République du Cameroon on our soil or on our product. This one a very important aspect for our revolution. We will win them. Following the sabotage of Sonera, La République du Cameroon right now they get fuel shortage for Yaoundé. They rely heavily on petroleum where they come up from Gabon, and the petroleum they go up now with prices them for Gabon. Things that they look very blink. The economy for La République du Cameroon they collapse as we talk. The country will implode at any moment from now. The international community they don't be hit hard by our strategy for destroy and stop all the exportation of Ambazonian goods. We don't win on those fronts very, very bigly. Even though La République du Cameroon, they don't try for get small for restart some area, then for CDC, for get cocoa, then begin exploit them. They don't also start for exploit even some oil palms them as well as some rubber them. Those exploitation, they don't almost start. But the international community knows it not be guaranteed. Even the supply of those goods are not be guaranteed because every time we see try to put more resources them for make sure so we stop all the exploitation. They may be very, very important. So we'll stop the exploitation because diplomacy no be about a be sorry or Asia. Diplomacy not all about leverage. Which leverage the way Ambazonia get them for convince the international community say we'll be capable for control that territory or we wouldn't be capable for them for support we say we'll take control for that territory. Now wait to go they go gain them if they give you independence. One of the things what they show them I say they no fit take what petroleum, they no fit buy anything from that land if they know what would we. In particularly with the resources the way that I discovered for instance Kumba Day. Would that make and clear for them say if they want to get resources them for Ambazonia, the only way they fit do them for make sure say that place be stable, me the war is stopped. And the only way this war go stop, the only way they goes down they go stop. Now say me then listen for the people then for the territory where they cry say they want to exercise their right of self-determination. For come up for La République du Cameroon, govern themselves. Just yesterday, the United Nations organized a workshop for Northern Cameroon. Northern Cameroon, that part for South British territory where it will join Nigeria. They don't get some big workshop for the in open air where they educate the people them about their history. And just part of the program then that for tell Ambazonia and they say like United Nations understand our history and will be on the right track. Of course, the Northern Cameroon will join Nigeria. It will be less self-governed than our side. Now either way will be classified as a category B territory. That means we will be the same like La République du Cameroon in terms of international status for our territory. So they be done join Nigeria and they leave them fine. But we will instead be a higher category for territory them. Would I instead lost total control, need the government territory. I be there for the Northern Cameroon, I be meet some of their barristers in town, I visit Nigeria. And all of them, then they fine. Then be very concerned about we as well. So we'll be on the right track. I want to tell you practically which way that happen, the shift way that happen for the diplomatic side. Maybe we not understand which way to go on. For the shift for the diplomatic side, during the time where this struggle be the start, the international community, when they send envoy them for the Cameroons, I call Cameroons, so I'm not saying two Cameroons, they will send those envoys them. The first thing they will do now say they will engage the political establishment. They can meet up Frundi, they can meet up the priest, they can meet up Agbobala, they can meet up all these dignitaries or people that they represent the stakeholder them for Ambazonia. They no be the camp say they want meet up any general or any Ambazonian fighter or even for consult with the Ambazonian leader them, where they be the control the ghost town and all those things them. But things that aren't changed now because we don't already win and it indicate the success we don't get them for diplomatical realm as well as on the ground. Because winning for ground it already matter if it not be translated for recognition or effort the way if we give you our independence. So now when you see Patricia Scotland, the first time we come for Cameroon, you wanna be here, they talk with the bin and say he must go visit Boya. He must go visit Boya. Because if one come for the it main aim for meet up people where they go explain which way they go on. Now for meet up the political establishment, the pan-Cameroonian political parties like the SDF, for try for meet up people there like Cardinal Tumi and the priest for Presbyterian and all those big people the way they represent those territory, and including the parliamentarians them. They be the gate meeting with them, it be the meet up people then like Kawala and all those people. Ambazonia should know that the demographic have changed in our favor. When they come this time, they come a 3 months delegation with Patricia Scotland, with the head representative of the African Union, as well as the Francophonie. There was no talk at all for them for meet up the political establishment like Ni John Fundi, for meet up the chiefs and the funds or the... See, I no get sound. I hope the sound now be okay. So, what you want to need to understand, I say, we don't win already diplomatically. Now, either way, you see this big diplomatic team where you come for Cameroon, for the Cameroons, the Patricia will be led by Patricia Scotland, and then the African Union, as well as the Francophonie. This delegation, then come, they no be make any demand for meet up with the political class. They no be make any demand for meet up with Frundi, for meet up with Kawala, for meet up with the Presbyterian, their head, or the Catholic priest, their head, or any NGO. They no become for meet up any of them. For sure, I say they already understand and they already accept. Say this one a conflict between the Southern Cameroons or the pro-independent groups and La République du Cameroon. There is no playing around it anymore. The international community, they need to see mixed talk again when they come. They need to see go ask Frundi again and all those people them. For tell us would already beat them diplomatically, would already translate all the victory for Ground Zero into diplomatic capital. Now, think that way to go on we will need for Sabi. And which way to go on for the dialogue now? Now, I say now which kind now a problem of which type of solution if it be applied for our case. You know, we see a problem, say, me then think about whether the problem be or not, or we will need to convince people them. So all these things them, it be important we will know so that we will know the thing that we will need for do them. Now either way, you don't need more begin the John again, say we do want go protest for here, John say we go protest for day. Now all the only two of you do are for buy AK-47 for defend our territory. Now the only thing that we need them, AK-47. Nothing like protest, all this kind shouting here and there for the diaspora, it not be important anymore. Because you do things them for accomplish a purpose. You get a strategy, you get a roadmap where you follow for make sure so we get that independence. And then map out all our strategy. Right from the beginning, the whole thing be a same struggle, elevate this issue way, they get a proper debate on the merits of our right for independence. Whether the current union will get our La République du Cameroon, is it legal or not? Does it has any legal basis? Does our plight, our demand to exercise our right of self-determination, to claim the restoration declared by Siseko Ayoktabi as valid or not? That is a real debate, and that is what we want to have on the diplomatic table. That is our victory. We no go win them and say we go shoot all La Republic du Cameroon, the army for the ground until they no still get one person for the again. No. We point and say we will go for negotiation table. Or na two way. Either we go for negotiation table, we win them for negotiation table in a negotiation table way if it be implemented. Or the United Nations Security Council go bring up the issue and then they go examine them. Then they go declare, say, that our union with La Republique du Cameroon in never be consummated an annexation or a recolonization process, and then the United Nations Security Council go dictate a solution to that problem. So now the only two solutions that we get for when we want independence, of course. So one assembly, the United Nations Security Council or the General Assembly raise up the issue and then open the file against the decolonization of our territory, be a failed decolonization because of the war going on, and it is not acceptable. They have reached that point where they say that it is not acceptable. Now, how do they solve this problem? There are two solutions for our side. One is for the United Nations Security Council and the United Nations General Assembly. Another one is through negotiation. And I believe the negotiation path is the path that we are on. And that is the strategy you can see from the AGOC, and that is the strategy you can see with the interim government led by Siseko Yoktavi, of course. And then you also get another solution where it be proposed by the Republic of Ambazonia. Say more challenge the sovereignty issue and all those sovereign issue and all those stuff. But we dey on two paths then they before we. One na say more follow for United Nations, one na say more go for negotiation table. The negotiation table na the most fastest and the most easy part. That means we go sit down for negotiate with La Republique du Cameroon. We talk say, okay, now the situation this, now the legal basis is, now we'll be wrong, now we'll be right, and somebody go did it. For successfully do them through this way, we must make sure say the negotiation will go there, now negotiation will produce the independence and it will be enforceable. That means we will get a neutral partner or a state partner, and we will get a mandate for that negotiation from the United Nations, where it will be say tomorrow they do them for the negotiation. It did the same like way they for do them for inside the United Nations Security Council. Then that decision will go come out for day. Even if La Republique du Cameroon they run left table, the United Nations they will still take back the issue and they will consider them on the merit of the issue. And we believe say on the merit of the issue, the international law then be on our side. Forget for that process alone. Now already big victory for we. Now fat victory for we. And the only way we get for day now through arming our territory, making sure that La Republique cannot control our territory, they cannot administer our territory, and the international community cannot benefit from trade with Mr. Pobia in our territory. We should be the only sole people who can guarantee that trade can resume with Ambazonia product and to save La Republique du Cameroon from crumbling, because that is what is going to happen. That is what is happening now. Already their banks, they don't get enough money, they don't get enough petroleum. Chop need to still enter for their country. Investment need to still enter for their country. The International Monetary Fund, they demand them interest for their loans and all those stuff. Them nothing in that way to go on. La Republique du Cameroon, they get only one option now for bidwi. Only one option. The time where they will use Frundi, they use Fonangwafo, for use Catholic Church, for use Presbyterian Church, for use all these people them, for begin talk for the international community on behalf of the people the way they complain. Because when the international community they see the protests that they go on, they want to find out, get a fact finding mission. When they receive petition them, they want to get a fact finding mission for no way to way they go on. The way to way they go on, for way to way they go on for them. Now for get a facts finding mission, they go send mission head them, they go send representative them, they go come for they can talk for the people the way they be involved. The people the way they be talk for them now, the time where they be use political party, they don't be over. So wait to way our leader them, those who they represent we, both the forces on the ground zero and the diplomatic branches in the diaspora are very crucial. If we get the loose end in this area, then Navade La Republique du Cameroon negate hope. So La Republique du Cameroon, they focus now, not be still on Frundi, then Frundi will be out of the game. They focus now on those our leader, the way they represent the conflict. Now, why that way you see say their interaction with Sako, it be very important. So I know say a lot of people then they still never understand why would they still talk about Sako. Now because it be very important. Now the only loose end that we get and we La Republique du Cameroon they use them against we. They don't try all way. Now, whether it will be important for them to go to the extent for even breach international law for pick up Seseko or Yoktabi because they no be get any person where they for infiltrate for represent the Ambazonian side of the conflict for inside the 7 leader the way they be did. And they don't successfully get one. Whether one in Obado coming one, but then bring a bunch of follower them for come for you. So it go bring me now for the main crucial point where I get them for this live show for today. Now for tell now way to way it happen with the faction the way La Republique du Cameroon the user. Because from information where they get them from the leaders them and the organization where they be engaged with the foreign partners them because of sensitivity about non-disclosure. I'm not going to tell now exactly, I'm not going to use any name for some country. But the country, the way they be involved, where they be engaged for this process, where they don't take the responsibility for the international community for negotiate between Ambazonia and La Republique du Cameroon. Those country them, they don't indicate for what diplomat, the way they engage with them directly. Say somewhere Sako, he don't talk for them, say the one for use now the HD. That one I think where it don't happen. And that one for tell when I say somewhere Sako don't become a black leg. Because any person where if Ambazonia where you go decide for deny, say instead for negotiate with a Swiss diplomatic mediator will be appointed by the Swiss government, but you go turn around for talk say you want choose now some small institution. Now 2 things, either you are a black leg working for La République du Cameroon, or you are so power monger that you want to be in control of the Swiss process through the HD who have made you the king of Ambazonia. Those are 2 things. And for me, I will go with the first that he is just a complete blackleg working with La République du Cameroon because that is so far the indication and the intelligence and all the indication we have had from the people in La République du Cameroon that we talked to the journalists, the diplomatic corps, and everything that we have seen working in front of us. We know that they are working for La République. They are blackleg. Chris Anu and Samuel Sako are blackleg. You like it, you don't like it, they are blackleg. If you want to be so stupid to go ahead to listen to them, eventually you will realize. I remember when I said that they were scammer, people did not believe me. I'm telling you today, they are blackleg. They are working for La République du Cameroon. There are people who believe that they are not blackleg, that they are just power mongers. They are trying to work with the HD because they want they want to become the masters, the people who are controlling the process. I don't buy it at all. I don't buy it at all. That is not the case. They are complete blacklegs. We have had indications, there are proof beyond reasonable doubt to establish that these people are working for La République du Cameroon. I will go back today to talk about what has happened with the plane crash. I want you to understand something. This incident with this plane that was shot in Bafut Airport is very, very important and is very crucial. It can be a determinative factor in this our revolution on how the international community will perceive us in terms of their solution to prescribe for Ambazonia, whether it can give us independence or not. After that plane was shot, I'm not here for claim anything on behalf of the ADF because I'm not a spokesperson and I don't speak for the ADF. But as an aide and as an activist who is highly engaged in Ground Zero, who knows the players on Ground Zero, who talks with them on a daily basis, and they report to me and give me information about their action, I will tell you for sure that the people who did that job, I will not tell you exactly what they do because it would just be stupid for me to do it. But I want to show you what happened, how a leader who is genuinely fighting for Ambazonian cause for independence to make sure he protects the integrity and give us the best chance for us to have our independence will respond. This is the interview Ayabacho gave with the Reuters. I don't know if you can see it properly or not. This is the interview he gave. I'll read the quote that he was quoted. The story says that after they talk about the attack on that plane, it says that Cho Ayaba, one of the separatist leader, president of the Ambazonian Council, said the commercial plane was being used to transport soldiers and weapons, and he had warned Cameroon Airline and its passengers that planes will be shot at if they do not provide their schedule ahead. Then they quote him, a direct quote for him, if we cannot confirm, we will consider the plane coming as a security risk. Ayabacho no claim say na ADF or not, no confirm am or not. When I think that way any person way it want talk about a country responsibly like a leader supposed to talk. Because get one thing very clear. Hear this one very, very clear. For shoot a commercial plane na an act of terrorism, internationally speaking. If you take gun, you see plane will carry civilian them. For shoot a civilian plane is an act of international terrorism. That one na a guaranteed act of terrorism. So it be very important. Say me Ambazonia them no be perceived or they no commit any act of terrorism. Because if we commit an act of terrorism, that is gone. Our struggle is gone. La République du Cameroon, what way did they do am? They do am na for Babak. What way did they do am? They do am for Babak. Officially, all flight of Cameco is grounded. All their flight of Cameco is grounded. So there is nothing like Cameco is flying around Cameroon carrying passengers. There is nothing like that. Their planes are now being used by the Cameroon military to transport their personnel and weapons. It is not on commercial airline. You cannot go to Douala to Cameco to go and buy a ticket to travel from Douala to Bamenda. It does not exist. There was no commercial flight from Douala to Bamenda. We know that already for sure. The international community know it for sure. It is a public knowledge because Cameco itself has announced to the public that there is no commercial flight. So there is no commercial passengers that could be flying from Cameco from Douala to Bamenda. Justice Ayapo have also spoken about that Cameco cannot claim to be carrying it could not be considered a commercial airline at that point. So there is no way you can call it an act of terrorism. You cannot define it as an act of terrorism. It is not possible because it was not on commercial flight. We know that La République du Cameroon have been using it to transport equipment, weapons, guns, bullets, to restock their troops and also to bring military personnel and military experts on the ground. That is what has been happening. And Ayabacho have warned the Cameco. He has already warned passengers about that. He has sent them already warning there. So that was appropriate. That was appropriate. With La République du Cameroon, I have already warned you. I've been telling already about Akeremuna, a rule for this struggle. The first thing where he come out can talk and say, this one na a terrorism act. We would not target this plane. He put a directly square for which we be. And when I see her come to rank come they talk the same thing. These two people, they work together. They be in a political ally them for that election. And people they don't select and say that they can't take control for rule the country. Maurice come to rank come out can talk and clear. For sure say dinner for the French people their side. When I remember when he be the talk say the one campaign, if some person be fee say go one doubt to the talk him. If he talk even about two-state federation and all those stuff. Now he don't talk say even that two-state federation, he no deal with them again. He no deal for two-state federation, he no go be part of anything where he go lead for Ambazonian independence. He don't make that one clear, crystal clear. Crystal clear. He no deal for anything where if he divide Cameroon, that means say he no go get for even for negotiation. Where if he enough for we for divide, he no the day. He no deal for two-state federation. Those are facts. But if una want be Zamzam, una go begin find me them begin twist on head. That one na sabi. I don't take the donkey already for corner water. What are you go drink the water? Oh, na sabi. So that in that way the day, these two people them, now people the way the French government now arrange, they say that they go take over that regime. Now why that way their position they reflect that reality for the plan B. Plan will be then exposed and will be in place. So now wait till that way they happen. Maurice Kamto then can talk. Akeremuna can talk for pin the crime for the person where the one he fall for head because they get a plan. At the end of the day, they will declare those who are hardcore pro-independent factions like terrorist group, as extremist group where they no fit talk with them. That is what is going on. I will play on the interview with Chris Ano, again for BBC, for tell una, for show una, for open una eye exactly the njambo, the mafia way they go on for tie Ambazonia for the special status way they go on for La République du Cameroon by labeling us terrorists. By labeling us terrorists. I believe say most people they come for this platform for can listen for me. Those are critical thinkers who have a mind of their own to listen. So if you are not of that category, please don't be here. It will be very difficult for you to stomach the things I have to say because I just put my things blankly. I don't come here to please anybody. So listen to Chris Ano. When Ayabacho gave that interview, it was so perfect, La République du Cameroon could not twist it in any shape or form. First of all, I want to tell you that it was not any interim government or restoration forces that carried out that action. It was none of them. And I will not tell you who carry it or who do not carry it. I'm not in a position to do that, and I will not do that because I'm here for Ambazonian independence. So now I head for think about who did that action, and that action was very important to send a message that La République du Cameroon cannot bring weapons into our territory through plane. They are desperately in need of those weapons. They are incapable of reaching far regions in our territory because they don't have enough bullets. So it's very important that they use those flights, and it's very important that we shut our airspace to make sure that they cannot fly in equipment to into our territory. Ayabacho have said it since last year that we have to up our defense system. He already said it. So the ADF already have a plan to defend and protect Ambazonia airspace. That is a policy they have think about it. Just like many of attacks that they have done, they did not claim it, but it was crucial for our national defense. All these things that are happening, you have to understand by yourself. So this is the interview that Chris Ano gave. Listen, I want Unamona hear very well. My exposed with it
shooting at a Cameroon airline passenger plane on Sunday as they approached Bamenda Airport. However, Chris Ano, the Secretary of State for Communication of the self-proclaimed interim government of Ambazonia, said,
first of all, they indirectly call Chris Ano as the spokesperson of the interim government. Chris Ano is not the spokesperson. The person who appointed Chris Ano have fired Chris Ano. The least we can expect is that the international community should understand, and when they are referring to Chris Ano, they should always give a fair and balanced report that will reflect that he does not represent the interim government that appointed him as a spokesperson. So listen.
As the shooting was not intended to bring the plane down, but rather to send a message to the Cameroon government that all Cameroon government planes are banned from flying over Ambazonia airspace. Cameroon Airlines said the flight from Douala landed safely in Bamenda. Ano also accused the Cameroon government of using commercial planes to transport soldiers and weapons.
The restoration forces did not shoot down. They shot at it, not to bring it down, but to send a sign to the French Cameroon government.
First of all, when I hear Chris Ano talk, Chris Ano, the claim, say the restoration forces then shoot that plane. He claim responsibility for put for the head of restoration forces. That is admitting to terrorism. That is admitting to an act of international terrorism. There is no playing about that when it comes for the definition of what to be a terrorism. The least way you do, even like the Republic of Cameroon, they need to take claim for their action then. You go want to ask yourself, why will Chris Ano come online? Chris Ano is a trained journalist. He knows what he's doing very well. If you've been listening for Chris Ano during the time for Ambazonia calling, you go know say he know where to go on, and he know exactly where to do and he need to operate on behalf of Ambazonia. He operate on behalf of La République du Cameroon for pin us in the international community, because all this he interview them. He know very well how the diplomacy work. La République du Cameroon go take all this he interview them. They go present them for the international community when they do their intelligence report. Say Chris Ano, where they go to put and say it speak on behalf of the Ambazonian restoration forces and on behalf of the interim government. They go claim say Ambazonia them na terrorism, will perpetrate acts of terrorism. When I hear Chris Ano, we hear what we do am. Here we talk about play the tape on here.
That the people of Ambazonia, and of course the interim government of Ambazonia, has banned any French Cameroon plane from flying over the airspace of Ambazonia. So it was not intent to bring the plane down, it was intent to send a signal.
So if talk say they shoot that plane, they not be intent say the plane go come down. They want to send a signal. That one be so ridiculous, so stupid. Even a baby. You deal with international community, people who are expert, people who are advanced in technology and in science. Even a bird, dirty bird can bring down a plane. I mean, dirty bird can bring down a plane. How do you say you can shoot a bullet and you determine whether it will bring down the plane or not? Do you have the expertise to decide? You don't have any rights to shoot a commercial airliner. Not only Chris Ano, they try for frame we up, for talk say we don't commit an act of terrorism, where any normal person no go want to commit for Tyree for that act. But it go further. When I listen, when I first listen for way to where Ayabacho talking for international community when the interview, he talk three things them. He no talk say na ADF do am, he no talk say na Ambazonia then do am. He talk say wait, say la Republic du Cameroon they use that plane for transport weapons, for use them for transport army, where you make that plane a legitimate target. He talk say they be down warn both the airline and the passengers them where they use Cameco, me they know transport, me they know use that airline for violate Ambazonia space. It make the fact that Cameco will be officially grounded, it shows that those planes they not be carry passengers them. So now the international community will make their judgment. They don't get any proof, but then get that question. They don't put them back for La République du Cameroon their head. Where they go back, they ask now La République du Cameroon, but why were you flying that plane? Provide for us the people you are calling were passengers in that plane. And the burden will be on La République du Cameroon. But listen to what Chris Ano did. Early in the morning, they wake him up. And this is what he did. Claiming responsibility for terrorism on behalf of the restoration forces. And you think that this thing do not have consequences. It had serious consequences. According to Akeremuna, if this is actually right, it is going to take away any sympathy that the international community have for us. Listen to him.
Chris, this is a passenger plane.
Again, and that is the reason why we did not shoot it with the intent of bringing it down.
Randy Josiah reminded Chris, this is a passenger plane. Chris Ano did not deny that it is not a passenger plane. Because that plane, just because it is a commercial airliner, does not mean at that moment it was a passenger plane. Chris Ano confirmed, yes, it was a passenger plane. Do you think, you can go and think that maybe he's just so stupid, which he should not be where he is if he was stupid. He's definitely not stupid. When you hear about people conspiring means that people make plan to do something. They sit down, they have a scheme. They have people who are planning to do something and they connive. They arrange on how do you get there? How do you torpedo the success and the rallying of the international community to intervene in Ambazonia case? How do you torpedo it? You torpedo it by creating the impression to the international community that the Ambazonian forces are terrorist forces, they are irresponsible partners, they are a struggle that needs to be quenched. That the only solution, a viable solution for us to remain a responsible part of the international community is for us to stay with La République du Cameroon. Listen.
We intended to bring it down. We could have brought it down, but we knew there were passengers on board. That is why we were very careful not to bring it down, but to send a message to French Cameroon. We have warned them. The only flights we will...
Yeah, he is confirming that there were passengers on board. Chris Ano, a spokesperson, an educated, this one more talks about people who don't do the journalism, not just put it and be specialized now for news. He's not as smart as me because I don't study law and political science, but he has that knowledge to grasp simple concept. So Chris Ano is claiming to the international community over BBC that that plane was a commercial airline. He also confirmed, more than even Pobia, that plane had passengers on them, civilian passengers. He also confirmed that that plane was shot by restoration forces of the interim government. With the and then he tried to say that they didn't shoot it because they want to destroy it. How can you control the bullet, the effect of a bullet? A bird, dirty bird, can bring down a plane. Let alone a bullet, a single bullet. Let alone a bullet. That is what Chris Ano claimed.
Except over Ambazonian airspace or United Nations flight and any other flight that we would give permission to fly over our airspace.
One of the separatist leaders, a man called Cho Ayaba, who says he is president of the Ambazonia Council, is quoted as saying that commercial planes are often used to transport Cameroon soldiers and weapons. Do you share this thought?
He is very, very correct, and that is one of the reasons we have earlier passed the message to French Cameroon, informing them that having declared our independence in October 2017, we will not allow any of their planes, whether a passenger plane or military plane, hovering or landing over our territory. We have sent these signals to...
So, even when they still narrow it to the statement made by Ayaba to Reuters, he still tried to bring in the issue of separating military plane and commercial airliner. So he's there specifically. It's not like he's just so stupid. Somebody could say that he to try to reason and say deductive reasoning, he was just stupid. But when given even the choice, quoting the statement Ayabacho already have given to the international press, he still brought in the idea of commercial airline to separate it from military airline, as though to tell them that Ayabacho's reference was to military airline. So he is there on a mission. He is there on a mission. It is so laughable. It is so ridiculous that us Ambazonians, we continue to behave like fools. We don't know what we want. We don't know people who are killing us. We don't know who is torpedoing our effort. People who are going to try to make sure that they withdraw Ambazonia from OMPO. People who are going to claim Ambazonia forces responsible for terrorism, international terrorism. People who are going to instruct Ambazonian forces to directly target international community vehicles to attack the UN forces. This is a United Nations statement talking about the staff of the UN that was killed in Ndonga Mantung. This is a letter from them. I think you already have this letter. They are tying Ambazonia for failure. They are prosecuting Ambazonia in front of the international community on behalf of Mr. Pobia. Chris Anu is not doing these things out of ignorance. He is a blackleg. From the day he came out to instruct the Ambazonia forces to go and attack other forces, to attack the ADF, he declared it. If you still think in your mind that Chris Anu is working for Ambazonia, that Samuel Sako is working for Ambazonia, then something have screw in your head. If you were so stupid to even believe or to try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are stupid, then you will not even think that somebody who will be so stupid to tie Ambazonia to international terrorism, to ask Ambazonia to attack the UN, somebody who was so stupid to do all this thing, to go to the extent to inform the international community that we don't want the Switzerland government to be involved in mediation. We want an institution, despite all the knowledge. Somebody who is going to come and take away the greatest asset we have for international sympathy. Siseko Ayoktabi, the fact that he represents the Mandela of Ambazonia, to come and discredit him, to strip him off from all dignity and declare him an enabler. Somebody who paved the way for La République du Cameroon to sentence our prisoners of war for life imprisonment. Somebody whose mother was caught in the house with money. I mean, the lawyers who have gone there can testify. They caught him with money. Money that has been allegedly, by one of their own confidant, that those money were money given to them as part of deposit to guarantee that Switzerland process of HD is going to go ahead. Those people who have done these things in Ambazonia, you still go to follow them. You still go to validate them by listening to them. They still come around in the diaspora. They still have some Ambazonia to go and welcome them and sit and clap and shake hands with them. Everybody who does that is an enabler. Everybody who goes around, when you see Sako coming to visit people, we saw the other. I know that some people do it because of corruption. Those who do that are enabler. They are destroying any prospect we have in diplomacy to have a fair shot, either on the negotiation table or in the United Nations Security Council and the General Assembly. We know that the United Nations Security Council have made it clear. This file is only going to come to them from a negotiator. They have made it clear we have to sit down and dialogue. We have to sit down and negotiate. How do we negotiate? That is the question now. Our leaders have put forth a best way that will safeguard the interests of the aspiration of independence to make sure that any negotiation we are going to sit on will have the possibility of giving us independence. Will have a possibility to be enforceable that can be submitted back to the Security Council. And these people are directly undermining that effort. They are directly requesting that the international community come down to the level of an institutional negotiation. We should go and negotiate with an institute instead of a country. Who do you think these people are working for? Who do you think these people are working for? And if you continue to entertain these people and think that the Ambazonia struggle have become an issue for you to have your entertainment, it is a social media experiment where you can come in and you share likes, you don't share likes, you go and listen, and somebody will come, oh, let me reach 2,000 2,000 views before I say something. And you go and you entertain them, you facilitate them, you cheer them up. They come to your houses because you hate one Ambazonia, you love one Ambazonia, you go and stand behind this side to support what is going to destroy you. Then it's just useless. You make everything become useless. You make even the best effort Ayabacho to do and Seseko to do to become useless. Because no matter what Seseko is doing, no matter what Ayabacho is doing, if La République du Cameroun successfully have one person to speak on its behalf, a decoy, a Trojan horse that wears the name Ambazonia, carry the flag Ambazonia, and speak on our behalf to the international community, they are going to win us. Be sure for that one. They are going to win us. If Sako continue, if Chris Ano continue, they are going to win us. Because they want us to look like terrorists. They can prove it through these people. They want to destroy our own people. They have used our own people to do it. That is why I spent a lot of time fighting all this bad effect. They wanted to cause chaos on Ground Zero. They do kidnapping, and we have to stop it. It is not their job to stop kidnapping. It is our job to fight it. If we allow the prevalence of kidnapping for ransom, the atrocity against our own people by people who are dressed up like us, they speak like us, they use our own people to do that, then they will win us. The only way we can win them is to accept, fight it, shame it, go and explain ourselves to those generals and those people on the ground so that they will do the right thing. But if somehow we are still suffering from this, the wicked black man syndrome, that we are unable to follow these people who are principled, we want to follow those people who are scheming, those people who are wicked, because we think that this war you can gain something only by the crooked people because that is what we have been used to, then we will be the cause of our own demise. I bring this thing to you because your opinion are very important. Your reaction to those people, even when you go there to go and listen to them, because I know curiosity is what is going to kill the rat. Curiosity is what is going to kill the rat. Even when you go there to listen, make sure that your comment reflects the integrity of the revolution. Reject what they are saying. When you go to Chris Ano's page to go and listen, because I know that you people are so curious, make sure you are there telling him you are not the spokesperson. You do not represent the interim government because that person who appointed you have removed you from that position. You are speaking for La République du Cameroun. You are a Trojan horse. You are a proxy speaker of La République du Cameroun trying to destroy this struggle. If these things is so difficult for you to understand, suck it up. That is the reality. Many things I say, it takes people 2 years to come around it. But these are the facts I'm presenting to you. And on our forces on Ground Zero, they have to understand one thing. We have gone past that era where we are entertained with videos, people shooting guns and going around blocking road. We don't pass that time. We don't pass that stage. We would want to say me some person show we gun, we go see picture of a gun, we bikini, skin go bikini shake. We don't pass that stage. When I see those ADF guns the way they be mashed with them for 1st of October, when I see those AK-47, over 200 AK-47, brand new 200 AK-47. Nothing that way all the money, the small money we rangi and fire bacho, nothing in that way they don't produce them for now. Those AK-47, if the ADF want to do propaganda, they will line it off the ground. They will line it off the ground in a container, na AK the way come off a container. Take video, then send it for begin please una. If they want to do propaganda. Trust me, if I want propaganda video today, I call General F tonight or tomorrow when I will see my more tap movie. We don't pass that era for movie. Now we groups them for the diaspora. What's the way they do and I say, you want to go claim a force. You do everything, work hard, use money for go be able to claim a force. Not be say it will be effective for liberate us. But the main purpose now, where most of the groups them, I don't want to call any name, they want struggle for get force for Ground Zero, now for them for be relevant. for be able, for be relevant, for stand for talk for social media, for address the Ambazonia people, then the leader, then tune as something. You don't get anything for whether you will feel lead for win or not. All those county head, all those, even some of those frontline leaders, their main objective to spend money in ground zero to support groups is to become relevant, to speak to Ambazonia, not even to speak to the international community because they are not even engaged. We know the people that are engaged to the diplomatic, to the countries that have shown result, like the Switzerland, the Norway, the United States. We know the frontline leaders who have engaged, I mean, to and forth. Not be the one way you do right later, they need to reply you. Because they want first reply later, now because they know which way you do for ground zero, they get intelligence them. So we know those who are actually engaged in diplomacy, which is fruitful, which has the potential to give something that can enable the Ambazonia people have established the aspiration that they have. We know them. And we have to educate our people to understand that on ground zero, that we are not interested anymore about those videos. You know, they shake my skin no small. And then they see any video talk, say, hey, do one that means I must go give money for the general. No. ADF, Mateo na wait they do. They send troops, they send order, pick up Nijon Fundi, where he get military people. He get beat them, they protect it, they work away. They send a contingent of troops, go up and pick up this man. They went into his house in Bamenda and pick him up. These are the people who take out DOs, SDO, so I know talk even the one for the other one, the way we don't need, they never first talk about social media. They get the capability. I have seen them working. Ayabacho can pick up his phone and say that I want to deploy troops from this zone to this zone, this area to this area, and it will be done. You cannot do that with any other force in ground zero. I mean, no force. The only force that was close to that was the forces of General Daiman of Sokadev, which was basically eliminated because he went into Pinying there and he misbehaved there and he was kicked out there publicly. We saw the video. And since then, they have been decimated practically because of bad policy, struggling to match up with ADF on social media. So these are the facts we have. Any force on ground zero, if you don't come under this structure, your actions will be useless. Your actions will be useless. Because if your actions do not contribute to the diplomatic effort to recognize Ambazonian independence, your action is useless. I'm going to be saying this one through my audio. It's time for us to call a spade a spade. The time for lone wolves are over. Either you are under the interim government, even the interim government, they have to come up with a structure to be able to name their general. If they cannot name their general, let them abandon those their soldiers and come under the ADF banner. Seriously. Seriously. Whether you like it or not, whether you're comfortable or not. After Chris Ano gave that interview, this is the general they called in ground zero to go and make a video to claim that they were the one that shoot that airline. Look at the video. I think you have seen the video already on WhatsApp. See the video. The soldiers stand for there. With all respect to our soldiers on ground zero, the soldiers stand for there with some small pistol. It's a handmade pistol. If you can claim, say, hey, plane the camera for plane the camera this have a Mancon. I go for BHS Mancon, so I know who's playing the camera before you land for that airport. That airport will be in our playground. We'll play football for that airport. They plane the camera this side, playing the camera for Bafoot. With that small pistol for your hand, so you want to show, say, now that pistol be capable for shoot that plane for the distance where they be shoot that plane before you can land. We know the attitude to do they be shoot that plane there. Because the pilot take time before he can land. It take difficult if you can land. So it never been a time where that already descend already completely. But we know if you estimate the attitude, the height of that plane, there is nothing like a perfect crime. So Chris Ano, your small propaganda video, where you ask that boy the media and go make small video for you, say that for you, me go program for international community, you and Paul Biya them, for go proof, say Ambazonia and terrorism. The small fighter, they make the video. Maybe, I don't know, around 100,000 where you go get for them, or how much you go get for them. They don't even know the ramification for this video. For come out, they make video, say, hey, no be ADF shoot the plane, now we shoot the plane, now we are my boys and this, with small pistol for your hand. We know, say, that same video go end up for destroy all of our forces. And they send this information too because we don't get information from the people the way they live for the negotiation table, where they be engaged for the diplomacy. Say one of our most admired forces, I'm not going to call the name now because we'll see try to figure out with the general them actually whether they know which way their representative they do them or they act on their own. One of our admired group, Bo Herbert, they don't convince them, their diasporan representative them, me then take them, go at them for the Swiss process. Irrespective of the fact say, the Swiss government that appoint an official diplomat for take control for the struggle. They see struggle for bring we down, for lower our level. Some people they were talking that because of personal hatred. Do one hate A, do one hate B, do one hate Capo, do one hate Ayaba. So because Capo and Ayaba then be in favor of the Swiss government, not be the HD. So we will not supposed for support the one, we need for support na the HD. That one na a wrong way for think because the reason why Ayaba chose they prefer na the government rather than the institute. The reason why Capo Daniel prefer the government rather than the institute, not be because Capo Daniel hate A or B, but na because na the only chance that we go give we forget our independence. And if we na for ground zero, we na soldier them, we na allow we na representative them, me then go choose a thing way be less because they hate A or they hate B, or because A or B they not be popular. Then all the blood will around send picking them in and go die, they will go for water because of your own emotion and your own inability to get over your ego. Those boys then not be dying for your ego. They be dying for Ambazonia. You need to always put Ambazonia first. In every decision where you take them, you need to put Ambazonia first. So any group, if we be listening for the interview for Abdul Karim talks some very important things. He talks say this, so the ADF, the AGC, not be the most important group, not be the most popular group, but not the most feared group for La République du Cameroon and for the international community. Remember, I said Abdul Karim don't go for Switzerland, he don't go here the thing the way Switzerland they talk. So if you want even weigh Abdul Karim assessment, I don't know, sir, I know they agree with the assessment, say ADF and AGC, they not be popular. But if you want to say at least na person will get information, good information, because you don't go for diplomacy too, you don't go for he talk with a diplomatic corps for Yaoundé. Myself, I don't go for diplomatic mission as well. I don't meet up I see talk with top senators for America, with senators and even for La République du Cameroon on our side where they always try to engage we and those priests on the ground, the activists on the ground with the people on the ground, so I can also make assessment. But if you go by Abdul Karimi assessment, say the AGC na the most feared group, na the most lethal group. The most feared group go mean say that the one way La République du fear say it go likely give the separation. So now why that they call and say the fear the one over because the one in own action they go likely no go bring the compromise where they go one time. So if you go by that assessment, the ADF now the most lethal group, now the one where you go give you the best chance for get independence, the AGOF the same for diplomacy. Then any person where stand for Ambazonia independent or we really want Ambazonia independent need to align themselves with this group, need to collaborate, need to facilitate this group, their actions and their diplomatic effort. Regarding the most popular, the most liked group, I want me to remember one thing. Mr. Paul Biya no be the popular person for Cameroon. Popularity does not matter. Popularity is irrelevant when it comes to power and control. Paul Biya is not the most popular person in Cameroon. Even among his people, he's the most hated person in that country. The only reason he can rule is because they fear him, is because he has the power, he has the army, he has he has attracted the judiciary and the most intelligent people in that country who are even more intelligent than him. So it is not about a matter of popularity. So even if you go with the assessment of Abdul Karim and some of the commentators who have made comment in Equinox from our side that Ayabacho is not popular but he's feared, Ayabacho is not popular but the ADF is not popular but their army is strong. Yes, I can even say that, okay, even if you go by that, that is not what it takes to win a war. It is not popularity. It is the fear they have for the ADF. It is the fear that the ADF can succeed to separate the country. It is the fear and respect that they have for the ADF that can make us to win. It doesn't need to be popular. They are not pursuing popularity. The same with activism. I am the most influential activist not because I am popular. As a matter of fact, I take the most hardest position against the AGC, against the ADF, more than anybody. I mean, based on reasonable conclusion, not just based on noise. Against all of the leaders, I have taken hardest position against all of them. I've called Ayabacho ridiculous. I've called some of his policies ridiculous. When he came up with the idea that you should make ID card, they should check ID card, all those things, I said that was stupid. I said that was stupid. So I don't just follow things blindly. I make assessment based on information that I receive, and I assess them in a fair manner. And if I tell you today, the only chance we have is Ayabacho Lucas. The only structure we have that can succeed is the ADF. After 3 years, we should be able to make this assessment without being afraid or ashamed to accept that somebody else was right and somebody else was wrong. If we want to put Ambazonia first, we must be able to assert this thing and inform our people, inform our generals on the ground, align yourself with the ADF for a more effective prosecution of the war, for a more disciplined prosecution of the war, align in the diaspora with the AGOF-C for us to succeed. The interim government must make that hard choice. They must make that hard choice to make sure that the most effective leader is being presented to the international community as a way forward. They must make that choice. Chris Anu and Samuel Sako have proven beyond reasonable doubt, not only with their actions or their intent, that they are working and the result of what they are doing is against our possibility to have independence, and it is for the possibility of La République du Cameroon to succeed in their plans to bring normalcy and the continuation of the exploitation of our resources. Because for La République du Cameroon, they don't mind this war going on for 20 years. So long as their objective to bring normalcy in a way that will allow them to continue to exploit our resources can be achieved. And right now, the status quo is for their benefit. Even though it is murky because they have that pressure, but they are already working with, they have successfully have some groups to allow exploitation. There are bribery and corruption going on already. They have bribed some generals on the ground, especially in the southern zone. Also in the northern zone that we know of, to allow certain activities to take place. There are places in the ground where we know that the restoration forces, their locations are known by the La République du Cameroon military. They allow them to be there. They don't go there to attack them. They come out to make roadblocks, and then they remove their own roadblocks. La République du Cameroon, they come there and put their own roadblock. We know that for sure. I have all those information. I have all the names of the generals. Some generals that you respect. Some of them have already arrangement with La République du Cameroon how to coexist. We know we have all those information. The only hope for Ambazonia, after all the sacrifices for 3 years, we have finally brought La République du Cameroon to its knees. It is ready to crumble. They are running short of petroleum. They are running short of money. They cannot borrow money. The international community have rallied. They have had a 3-month delegation to pressure La République du Cameroon to go to the negotiation table. I don't mean a fake negotiation table that is already compromised, but to go to a fair and balanced negotiation table. That pressure is alive, and that is our only hope for independence. To get La République du Cameroon to a negotiation table that will include state party with the backing of the United Nations General Assembly. That is our only hope to win. The fighting on the ground have to sustain the diplomatic capital for us to attain this objective. Any fighting on the ground that does not assist or sustain or provide political capital for this objective is futile. All the drama, the video, shooting gun here, shooting gun there, is useless. It will just make you to waste your life for nothing. The soldiers will waste their life for nothing. Think about it. If you are fighting for Ambazonia independence and you want to waste your life for somebody in the diaspora who wants you to claim that he is your boss, he speaks for you, he represents you, just because he wants to be relevant, he wants to go to the negotiation table, he's willing to go to negotiate for something less than what you are dying for, what you are risking your life for. Is it worth it? It's not. For me, it's not worth it. I will not even waste my time here on social media. I will not even waste my time on social media if I don't believe that my action or my activism can assist in this process that will attain the aspiration of the Ambazonia people. I had made my assessment to transform myself from somebody who was supporting the federalists as a solution to pure independent based not only on the demand by the people that they deserve to be served, but the attainability with this roadmap that through a negotiated settlement, by crumbling the apparatus that exploit our territory, by making our territory ungovernable, by forcing La République du Cameroon, by forcing the international community through sympathy and the lack of benefit from Ambazonia resources, that is going to put enough pressure for this recolonization of our territory to come to an end. For the people of Ambazonia to finally have the chance that they did not have to debate about their future, to determine the political outlook of their territory, to give them this gift. This is what our generation, the never again generation. You should understand we are going to all pass away. We are all going to die one day and leave this country, leave Ambazonia to somebody else. The only gift we can give to the next generation, to the millions and millions of unborn Ambazonians, is to give them the chance to govern themselves, to live in a free country, a land they can call their own. That is the only thing we can do to the next generation of Ambazonia, to make sure that they don't inherit an Ambazonia which is recolonized, where they have no right of their own. They will be battling with a bigger force, a bigger population of a French country that will be suppressing them to francophonize them and abandon the way of their life. We must fight and make sure we attain this objective. We have been trusted with this objective. We have been ordained by God to do this mission. The roadmap is clearer today than ever before. The results are clear on the ground. The diplomatic missions in La République du Cameroon do not longer go there to meet the political establishment, to meet the political parties. They no longer consult with Mr. Frundi. They no longer consult with Kawala Edith. They no longer consult with Cardinal Tumi. But now they are going there to pass a message to La République du Cameroon to meet on the negotiation table with the separatists, the pro-independence, the representative of the Ambazonian War of Independence. You now have, even on La République du Cameroon national platform, on CRTV, on Equinox, of top CPDM advisors saying that La République du Cameroon have to talk to Dr. Cho Ayaba, somebody they had considered an extremist, somebody good only to be killed. I remember talking to some of those officials, especially the ones in Beijing here. They were saying, do not associate yourself with this person, otherwise you are done. But we have beaten them on the ground. Their economy is crumbling. They are under immense international pressure to accept to go into the mediation table. But you have a person, Samuel Sako, who have sent message to the international community. I remember when I was telling the people that there was dialogue going on in Switzerland, a year before the leaders, they even learned about it. People did not believe me. So this one, thank God, this one is not just coming from my sources, but it is coming from one of our group that is engaged with the Swiss with the government. I wouldn't want to reduce it to a name source. That Samuel Sako have requested that he prefer the HD to handle the negotiation. Him and his cabal. You would imagine that when the Switzerland government would nominate and appoint a top diplomat, that everybody in that that HD thing will come out and say that, okay, let us embrace this diplomat. Let us meet with him. Let's talk with him. They don't even want to do that because they have been compromised. These same people, I will remind you, who came to tell us to strip Siseko Ayuktabi, to strip Ambazonia. It's not even about Siseko. Remember that Siseko being in prison is a gift to Ambazonia. They stripped us of that propaganda, of that sympathy of having our leader being a Mandela in prison. They call him a black leg, somebody who have sell out. The same people asked us to attack the United Nations. The same people ordered Ambazonians to attack other Ambazonian forces. Today, the same Chris Ano have come to the international community on BBC to tell them that Ambazonia have committed an act of terrorism, claiming that that plane was a passenger plane, even when it is common knowledge that the Cameco have grounded all its flight. Even when given an opportunity by Randy Josiah to tell him that Ayabacho have already said that that Cameroon government is using commercial planes to transport military men, military equipment. Chris Ano still turn around and say that, yes, there are military planes and there are civilian planes. To still stick to his guns that the Ambazonian forces have shot a civilian airline knowing very well that it carries passengers. Even when there is no proof that that plane was carrying passengers, the burden has to be on La République du Cameroon. He does that. His action is definitely pro-La République du Cameroon. His words and the effect of those words is definitely against Ambazonian prospect of having independence. And I submit to you, fellow Ambazonian, that Chris Ano, Samuel Sako are black leg. They are worse than La République du Cameroon terrorist forces because they are undermining our diplomacy. They are choosing by their own choices, when they have a choice, choosing something that is not going to give us independence, but something that will end up to give us the special status, something that is in line with Akeremuna and Maurice Kamto. Akeremuna have always been the person working the cables, working with the forces, paying money. I remember when they arrested Frundi, before they could release Frundi. Frundi have said it online. Akeremuna hands is everywhere. He's everywhere. Theodon Guma is there. He's proof. You can see the work of Theodon Guma. These are not people who support Paul Biya anyway, because sometimes our people, they get mixed up. They feel that just because somebody is against Paul Biya, it means that that person is supporting Ambazonia. You have to understand the dynamic in La République. They're fighting for transition, those who are fighting for political transition, and those who are actually fighting for the interests of the people of the Southern Cameroons. And we have to make that distinction. So that is my submission for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of the No KUNNY Talk show and making it an interactive presentation. Hold the line. Tell the generals in Ground Zero, when they send those videos, don't be impressed anymore. We are no longer impressed by videos of generals shooting guns, people shooting guns, shouting this or that. We want action. We want smart action. The territory is already ungovernable. We have to hold our foot to the fire. We have now to go to the final push. We have to go to pick out the governor. Those are the objectives of General Efang. They have to go out, take out the governor. The next time they are coming to a base of La République du Cameroon is to take them out. We are going out after their defensive position. We are not just focused anymore on picking out their convoy on the road. They still do the convoy attack. The convoy attack will still go on, but the objective has shifted to remove La République du Cameroon military bases in Ambazonia physically, to remove their colonial governors physically. Lele Afik already knows that he has a crosshair on his head. It is just a matter of time. Those are the objectives soldiers on the ground should be focused on. They should not waste their life. They should adapt the territory. La République have adapted to the territory. They don't go and put up roadblocks anymore like they used to do before. They don't go up and walk around the street like they do before. We have to adapt ourselves. Every life matters. Every life matters. So that is it for today. I might have not finished everything, but I've said that I'm going to do the show for less than 1 hour. I think I've met my targets today. So God bless you. I thank everybody who have been a participant to this platform. Remember, if you are watching me, you are one of the 1% most smartest Ambazonia people with critical mind, and you are part of the most influential block of people that push forward to protect the integrity of the Ambazonia people. Just imagine where the struggle would be without what we are doing here. Of course, the leaders are there, but you know, Moses did not go to the promised land by himself. He needed those people who assisted him. They play a very crucial part. He needed Joshua, the youth who accompanied him to receive the 10 Commandments. He wasn't there by himself. So thank you all. I thank you for watching. Martin, Monono, Roger, Ejob. I've seen my very good friend and brother, Mr. Lucas Asu, our national coach, is there. I've seen even Success Kongo is there. I will have to still talk to him. And, you know, we have a lot of issue regarding his visit to La République and his tape he's made. They have had a lot of meetings to talk about that. But it's premature, and we advise Ambazonia that you are the last hope for our freedom. The only way you can stop anybody from betraying the trust our people have for us, the mandate they have given us to fight for independence, is to act appropriately. Do not go and be entertained by people because you give them the political capital to go ahead and sell us. You have to call them out. Next time when you go and you see Chris Anu coming out, you have to be there and tell him he is not speaking on behalf of the interim government. The person who appointed him, Siseko Ayoktabi, have fired him. Siseko remains the only representative and the head of the interim government. That is it. So thank you all. Buy your freedom pin. I should have used my freedom pin today. So buy your freedom pin. Those money goes down to change things on ground zero. Stay focused, be vigilant, and be the vanguard. Make your opinion known wherever you go, wherever you speak, wherever you comment. Your opinion do matter. God bless you.